Hello, I'm Rahman Jonson. Thank you so much for joining me and inviting me to share with you. Now, I'm a consultant here to help in the implementation of the Western States Peak Performance Program. But before we go any further, I want to share something with you that is so ultimately important. It's about learning. You know, there was a man who went to a great institution, we'll say Florida A&M University, because FAMU is a great school. And this guy went to FAMU and he learned this amazing task. And he learned how to build a great machine. And he built this great machine for a company. And when he did, that machine made this company lots of money. The man eventually became the president of that company. But as people do, the man got older and he decided to retire. And the new president of the company came in. And when he did, the machine was still that machine that made a great deal of money for the company. And eventually, the machine, like machines do, broke down. When it did, they couldn't figure out how to fix the machine, so they called the man. And they said to him, "The machine is broken down. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. How to fix it?" The man calmly replied, "I'll be there." And he came to the company, and he looked at the machine from the top. He looked at the machine from the bottom. He looked at it from both sides. He quickly diagnosed the problem with the machine. And he took simply his hand, and he tapped on the machine. Once, twice, 3 times the man tapped on the machine, and it came to life. Well, the company president was amazed because they had tried everything to make the machine work. And as the man left, he calmly said to the president, "I'll send you my bill." Well, he left, and just a few days later, the president got a bill for $1,000. And he said, "How can this be? A bill for $1,000? You came in and tapped on the machine 3 times. So he called the man and he said, "How are you charging me this money? You used your hand to tap on the machine." And the man who built the machine simply said, "I'll send you an itemized bill." And when the president of the company got the bill, it said $1 for tapping on the machine 3 times, but $999 for knowing where to tap. So today, we're here to learn where to tap and find our way. Now, quite simply, as your consultant, together we'll work toward organizational change, toward making a difference and creating something in an organization that will be sustainable and that will last. Now, based on the 1996 legislation that was passed, moving the team toward a more performance-based pay system, you're looking to get this implemented in short order, but past efforts have gone pretty poorly. So before you move to having the team go in that direction, you have to first understand the nuances of culture of the organization. And most organizations don't understand culture. They look at people there. They look at what we know as discursive instruments or things that lock the culture into one place. But they simply say, "I want to get the desired result," without understanding what to put in the mix to make it work. Now, Apple Computers is one of the most successful companies on the planet. And the founder, Steve Jobs, said that the success of that company was really because it's run like a startup. There are no major committees. In fact, he even famously said there are 0 committees at Apple. But he runs the business like a startup to really allow people to take hold of what they're doing. Let's take a look at the culture at Apple.
Apple is always about pushing the envelope, about doing the best thing possible. And that's different from any company industry. A lot of companies, in terms of making it the highest quality or the most elegant, they will stop at some point because it's too hard. And Apple will never give up because it's too hard or it's impossible.
There's no company in the world where there's such a reverence for expertise.
You don't come to Apple unless you're really good at what you do. The reason you're here, the reason you were hired, is because you're at the top of your field, or you have the potential to be at the top of your field.
There's a belief in the power of small teams to do really great things. That if you get the right people in the room with this notion of let's just do something really great, then great things can happen.
No hay una sola manera de resolver un problema. De ser flexible y adaptable son características muy importantes si quiere uno trabajar en Apple. Los que trabajan aquí tienen la capacidad de adaptarse rápidamente a circunstancias que cambian constantemente.
You will get more out of working here for 2 years than you will get out of working at any other company for 5 years, easily.
There's a lot of places you can find happiness. Work, when structured right, is one of the few places you can really find meaning. And I think what Apple gives the employees is the opportunity to be part of something really, really meaningful.
So there you have it with Apple. So what is culture? Well, organizational culture can loosely be defined as the common system of values and beliefs and even norms within a group of people. And as we go through this process, we're trying to find a way to create change that will be sustainable, that will last consistently. And before you move forward, you have to really define the organization and find out what makes it tick, what makes people do what they do. Again, finding the why, so that those reasons that they need to do what you need them to do are ingrained within. The other thing is, what are the artifacts or things within an organization that moves it into making it work? Now, cultures usually have both internal and external factors that make the organization work. But at the basis of these things are both assumptions and beliefs. People have things within the companies that they assume to be true, that they assume people want. They even have things that they automatically believe are the core beliefs. But the question is that really what leadership and management wants to move forward? What's key in this space is getting to the core of those assumptions and beliefs and changing them. But before they can be changed, you truly have to have a better understanding of organizational culture as a whole.
Organizational culture is a system of shared assumptions, values, and beliefs that governs how people behave in organizations. The culture of an organization provides boundaries and guidelines that help members of the organization know the correct way to perform their jobs. The culture of an organization is ingrained in the behavior of the members of an organization and is very difficult to change. For this reason, culture can be thought of as the personality of the organization. The unique culture of an organization creates a distinct atmosphere that is felt by the people who are part of the group. And this atmosphere is known as the climate of an organization. We define organizational climate as how members of an organization experience the culture of an organization. The climate of an organization is subject to change frequently and can be shaped by the upper management of an organization. If culture represents the personality of the organization, climate is the organization's mood. Organizational climate is much easier to experience and measure than organizational culture, and also much easier to change.
Okay, so the goal here is to work towards sustainable change in both the culture and climate of the organization. So let's look at the first attempt in change. Of course, you guys tried it already and it just didn't work. In fact, people didn't know where they were going. The culture of an organization can pretty much be defined as what is known as a power culture. That's when the leadership or direction of culture is defined by a few individuals who are central to the structure, meaning people aren't empowered within the organization. Our focus here is to transition that culture into one where members of the organization feel that they've got a buy-in and that they are a part of whatever changes that are being made. The future of this organization, it's one that's inclusive. Imagine this, a group that's filled with interdepartmental leaders who are empowered to make the best decision for the organization and all of the divisions at any given time without having to go through the steps and chains of hierarchy. That's true empowerment. Now, members of the group will work together and come up with solutions to complex problems. They aren't always the result of grand scale committee meetings, because it's analysis paralysis coming from those meetings, and that's what really puts people aloft and it puts them to the side and they don't feel invested in the process. Now, team members will feel individually responsible for all aspects of the things that happen instead of that mentality which we've heard over and over again, that's not my job. Team members would then be transitioning to say, why not me? That's the kind of organization that we are looking to build here. That's the vision and focus. This organization is one that is shared with everyone. It's a vision here that's easily understood, and every member of the team is able to take and internalize the tenets of this vision. Now, of course, the new model, which is mandated by the legislature, is focused on pay for performance, and team members will be focused on doing their best and not on the tangible benefits of pay. But we know that's what the legislature has mandated, and that's what you have to implement. But you also have to understand that that's only a side benefit. The main benefit is of motivating people to do the best job possible and receiving the esoteric benefit of working hard and getting the understood benefit that they have done their best job. Now, the leadership will be in constant communication with various team members over the different sectors to ensure they're relaying information back real time so that as needed, the vision can be refined, retuned, and channeled on a consistent basis. Quite simply, this organization is going to go from being just a governmental organization to a group that's focused on service. Now, as we move into change, we'll be taking steps that are pretty well defined by a guy who's done this with many organizations. He's a professor at Harvard University, and he really has defined what it takes to be a leader, but specifically how to use that leadership to change organizations. His name is Dr. John Kotter.
The dimensions upon which a change vision could talk, whether it's about the processes we use, or it's about the kind of people we have, or it's about the technology. It can vary all over the place depending upon the nature of the change you think you need to make to take advantage of some big opportunity. A great change vision is something that is easy for people to understand. It can be written usually in half page, communicated in 60 seconds, is both intellectually solid, but it has emotional appeal. And it's something that can be understood by the broad range of people that are ultimately going to have to change. And that could be a secretary or an executive. It could be somebody from Germany or the United States, which makes it easy to communicate, and to communicate it in a way that people will get it, if you will, and will, if you do it right, buy into it.
All right, so first, being here is half the battle, but we have to make sure that a sense of urgency is communicated that speaks to the change we're looking for. A change that's been mandated by the state legislature, but it's a change and a chance to be innovative leaders in serving the community. So how do we do it? Now, again, the legislature mandated this change, but our goal here is to have the best citizen response of any governmental organization. And the goal for full implementation of the process is 1 calendar year. Now, as you are the core team, you are developing how this project gets implemented, and how it moves. Timelines are important, like remembering to set SMART goals and objectives, S-M-A-R-T. It's an acronym. Goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Having these type of goals are key to being able to be more effective and help the team move forward because they know where they're going. It helps you to create the vision. So now that you have an idea where you're going, the move there is imperative. So it has to be urgent, quick. Since committees have already met during the initial implementation of the process, we've got a good amount of information to get us from where we are to where we need to be. Now, it's a good thing for the process, but we still must have the input of team members as we continue the journey. And it's a long process. It's something that's going to require constant feedback, but most importantly, communication. During the last process, there were gaps in action, mostly because everyone wasn't involved. It was just the hierarchy. Rather than the teams focusing on implementing parts of the process, the teams, they are the process. Now, let's look tangibly. There are 550 team members across 11 divisions, which means there are roughly about 50 team members per division. And each division should have within it 4 or 5 subsectors or sub-teams that will evaluate information about the process and give feedback. Now, because these groups are small, it should be able to move forward with helping dialogue within the group. Less people in the group, more information, more sharing, they have better relationships. Now, the only mandate for the group is that bi-monthly each division is asked to submit feedback from the subgroups, and there should be at least one positive initiative, some story or key learning from what the groups have been discussing and what they're doing, how a difference has been made based on the new implementation of projects from the team. That way, you, the core team members, have an idea of what's happening, and you can keep those team members incorporated. You can implement new ideas almost real time as they surface, especially when they're ones that are going to get us closer to the vision and to change. So here's the main question. What is the vision? Well, before we define the vision, the one central question needed to focus on it is, what's in it for me? We've got to WIFM, W-I-I-F-M. WIFM. That's the question you should ask whenever you're going through the process. What's in it for me? Check out this scene from the movie Field of Dreams.
Ray, we're gonna call it a day. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Hey, do you want to come with us?
You mean it?
No, not you. Him.
Him?
Come with you?
Out there.
What is out there?
Come and find out.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Why him? I built this field. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me. Well, you wouldn't be here if it weren't.
You have a family.
I know, but I want to know what's out there. I want to see it.
But you're not invited.
Not invited? What do you mean I'm not invited? That's my corn out there. You guys are guests in my corn.
Ray.
No, wait. I have done everything I've been asked to do. I didn't understand it, but I've done it. And I haven't once asked what's in it for me.
What are you saying, Ray?
I'm saying, what's in it for me?
You know, I really love that movie. In that clip, Ray has worked hard and isn't getting what he wants because he doesn't see the benefit. He wants to go. He built it. He heard the voices. If you build it, they will come. And he did it. And he's like, that's my corn. So why do you get to go and I don't? Well, a lot of people think and feel that way. Now, but it's our job to let the vision reflect an opportunity for each person and member of the team. We've got to WIFM, W-I-I-F-M, what's in it for me, to clearly explain that. Now, Rosetta Stone, which is the top software company for language learning, created a vision for the company that was simple, it was effective, and it made them #1 at what they did. It was because they let each team member see how they could be a part of a great thing. Take a listen.
Leadership, at least from my experience, has come from having a very strong purpose, and for that purpose to be shared. At Rosetta Stone, we spent weeks and weeks arguing about what the mission statement should be. And our mission statement is actually not, it's not dreamy. It's we deliver the best technology-based solutions for learning languages. And we worked on every single word of that to make sure that that mission was narrow, was powerful, and had some stretch in it. Having hundreds of people aligned around a simple statement like that is incredibly empowering. People effectively get it. They know which industry we're in, that it's about best. It's not necessarily about the coolest or about the funnest. We're about results. They will have a good sense that it's about learning, not just practicing or playing. So by having all of that in a mission statement and evangelizing that statement with the team once it's been sort of embraced means that you're able to be much more productive as a team. When the team has built the mission statement, has aligned on it, it's an incredible driver of action and decision making.
Okay, so we know what we need. Based on the research that's been done, the vision here, this is something preliminary I put together, but it's that we want to have an organization that provides superior service to people with empathy, effective solutions, and quick results. Now, that's where I see the vision is going, but you have to make sure that you go back through everything, talk to your divisions and departments, and come up with a simple, concise vision statement so everyone knows where they're going. Now, we create this through consistent communication with people that we service, as well as other members of the team, rather than focusing on just the job. The focus has to be on individual cases. That is what we have to communicate to the team. We have to talk to them about ensuring that people are getting the best results. It's a vision that we have to internalize. Now, at the start of meetings, say the vision. And common areas, post the vision. Most importantly, reward team members with positive reinforcements when you see the vision in play. And as we move toward the process and forward rather with the process, team members have to be empowered to act. They have to be able to make change. So once the vision is instilled and given to everybody, you can't just expect one or two people to change the vision. Complete and total comprehensive vision change comes from individuals. They must be empowered. You know, a great example of that is Microsoft. That corporation, again, is a dominant factor in software. In fact, the #1 software company in the world. Ki Lu, who is president of Microsoft Online Services, explains.
It's about for any individuals be in a position to make a difference, to create an impact. A couple of things we do here at the Microsoft, at the OST. One is tools, capabilities that equipped all our employees to be productive. For example, we have huge amount of computing infrastructures. We have the entire copy of the whole web, particularly the fast-growing real-time portion of the web is also in our data centers, in our computing platforms. And we have tools that enable our employees to be very, very productive. We in our divisions are constantly working on custom designed training materials and support development tools so that our employees can develop new expertise, learn at a fast pace. And the third, equally important, is we have great talent. We have some of the world's leading scholars, experts in many, many disciplinary areas. So for people who come to our divisions, you get to work with some of the world's very best. Adding all those things together, we have a very, very strong environment that enable all our employees to be productive, to innovate, ultimately to make a difference.
Right now in our midst, we have everything we need. We have innovative thinkers right here. We have leaders right here. We have problem solvers in our midst. We've seen from the last implementation process, however, that employees in many ways feel they need permission to create solutions and to implement changes. So what needs to happen? You have to give them the power. You have to encourage team members to create diverse solutions to challenges and share them with the team. Sharing those solutions means that things change for the better. It gets us moving toward the vision even further. Most people may create some small fix to a problem, but they never share it. They don't talk about to anyone about it because they're concerned that maybe they may think some way of me. But we have to empower people to let them know that that's the only way innovation happens. And we also have to reward these solutions with showing how they relate to the core vision. Rewarding team members who come with solutions is important. That means as you travel along the path, there are going to be mile markers and benchmarks. Make sure that the team is aware of these and reward them. Some examples of incentives would, of course, be financial, which is a part of this program, and it could be something a little more esoteric. How about the chance to lead a committee? Maybe paid time off, gifts like small electronics, iPads, iPods. This would be something that's determined by you and your group, and most importantly, I guess the main thing that determines all that we do, your budget. Now, as this change takes hold, though, you should roughly be at the 6-month period here. Things will be moving, things will be going. You'll see differences. You'll even see differences in the way people think. Remember, keep the core vision in front of you, and that process will continue to evolve. You will see the change. There will be an increase in productivity, but what's most interesting is the feedback you'll get. There will be suggestions and solutions that could bring change across the board. Those suggestions and solutions, those fixes to issues, they should get top priority. Now, it could mean a tweak to the vision, but most importantly, it gets everyone out of their comfort zone. Sometimes all it takes is a clear, defined challenge to boost the team to the next level. Watch this.
Alaska? Son, what are you running from?
You know, I could ask you the same question, except I already know the answer.
Oh, you do ya?
I do, Mr. Franz. You gotta get back out in the world. Get out of that lonely house, that little workshop of yours. Get back out on the road. Really? You're gonna live a long time, Ron. You should make a radical change in your lifestyle. I mean, the core of man's spirit comes from new experiences. And there you are, stubborn old man, sitting on your butt.
Sitting on my butt?
Yeah.
Ha! I'll show you, sitting on my butt. Stubborn old man. I'll show you.
Come on, then. Come on.
Sitting on my butt. Ha! Yeah.
Come on, old man, come climb it.
Sitting on my butt.
Come on, keep going. You're doing great. Keep going. Keep going, Ron.
Yeah.
Can anybody see this? God, are you watching this right now?
Yeah.
You all right?
I got a little pinhead.
So you must make sure you're giving motivation and that the change that you're implementing is something that you're constantly working toward. Finding the motivation and pushing it. When information comes in, get it, and then get it right back out into the vision. Now, that doesn't mean you're changing the vision and mission statement every 5 minutes, but it does mean that you're sharing information with the team, allowing them to see how the vision, because that statement is going to be broad, how it can change and be applicable to everything that they're doing. Now, before long, this incorporated change is a part of the culture. It becomes the organization itself. And sometimes telling people to change is far less effective than providing the stimulation and allowing them to evolve. Evolution is something we do all on our own. That's when it comes at the right time. But sometimes they need stimulation. Take, for example, arch villain Gru from the movie Despicable Me. Love the movie, love the Minions, but there's some great catchphrases in that movie. Who'd have thought that Gru, this arch minion or person of evil, bringing in the minions, wanting to take over the world, who would have thought that that person could fall in love with 3 little kids that changed his life? But in the right time, through his own evolution and with the right stimulus, he did.
Okay, girls, time for bed.
Oh, come on, we want a story. 3 sleepy kittens!
Oh no, sorry, that book was accidentally destroyed maliciously. Tonight, we are going to read a new book. This one is called One Big Unicorn. By who wrote this? Oh, me! I wrote it. Oh, look, it's a puppet book. Here, watch this. That's the horn.
This is gonna be the best book ever.
Not to pat myself on the back, but yes, it probably will be. Here we go. One big unicorn, strong and free, thought he was happy as he could be. Then 3 little kittens came around and turned his whole life upside down.
Hey, that one looks like me.
No, what are you talking about? These are kittens. Any relation to persons living or dead is completely coincidental. They made him laugh? Ho ho! They made him cry. Oh. He never should have said goodbye. And now he knows he could never part from those 3 little kittens that changed his heart. The end. Okay, all right. Good night.
I love you.
I love you too.
Finally, as you move forward with implementing the changes within this peak performance system, you got to remember to explain the why. Why is so important. Why to keep the team involved. Why they should be doing something. Why they should be moving toward the vision. You know, Simon Sinek said it best in a TED Talk. People need a reason and a way to see where they're going. Teams don't move because of a plan. They move because of shared vision. So we've got to show them something. Today, we still marvel at the fact that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was just before his time. Truly, he was able to mobilize 250,000 people in Washington for a march. There was no Twitter, no websites, no save the date, no invitations sent out, no Facebook, nothing. Just he and the team, Bayard Rustin and so many others from across the country, simply shared a vision, a dream, something they wanted to see. And that vision mobilized people. It had them to come together and meet at one place. In essence, it was a thing that changed America. So too will you. You will use a vision to implement this merit-based pay system and create one of the most effective governmental organizations in the country. The question is, are you ready for the challenge? I look forward to working with you. Thank you.